of the way that he talks to his boss. Which, honestly, man, this is just this is how everybody wants to talk to their boss, especially when they're a man. That's the big problem with it. Is like they are inspiring more resellers to come out and become resellers, or more people to become resellers. This dude blows me away with how expensive he makes video games. Recently, he put out this video that I'm going to put up on the screen here. And essentially, what he says in this video is that he's accepting just about every video game for trade-in now on his app.
So it has come to my attention. There's this channel on YouTube called Heckin Steve. He's a guy who talks about video games and classic video games, retro video games, and collecting. Talks a little bit about Pokemon and a few other things. I think he also talks about Airbnb a little bit. But he found his claim to fame, notoriety, off of criticizing resellers like Chase After the Right Price and Phoenix Resale. And I have to say one thing about his content, man. Just in case Heckin ever comes across this video, I guess I should just call him Steve, right? Just in case Steve comes across this video, he needs to hear this. Steve, you are 100% correct about these resellers, man. It's even helping me a little bit take more pause in what I'm doing as a reseller, an eBay seller. But I'm not nearly as bad as some of these people. Some of these people I never heard of till you put the light on them. Like that Philly flipper guy, he has all the traits of these resellers in my area. In my area, man, and I'm not too far away from Steve. Well, here, where I'm at, is so many resellers. I remember just a couple years ago, you could go to Goodwill, Salvation Army, and you would see a nice collection of games on the shelf. Now, it wouldn't be nothing great. It would be like the Jeopardy game, Powerpuff Girls, some random Disney game like Nemo. It would be a nice little collection of games, though. But now, when you go to the Goodwill, there is nothing on the shelf. There is nothing at all on the shelf. No games at all. None. Zero. This happened like over like the last 4 or 5 years. I started to notice this. And I know people donate games all day long. Why is there not even a crappy game section at Goodwill? Because I like to play those games that people don't like. Because as you know, Goodwill, they used to have every single thing on the disc was 99 cents a disc. Well, it really started at 49 cents and then they went up to 99 cents. These resellers started coming in and just wiping the whole shelf clean. Not even caring about the games. Just wiping the whole shelf clean. Now me, as somebody who does sell on eBay, if I do see a game that I know is worth a lot, like if I go and I see NBA 2K18 and I don't have it, and I see it sitting right next to like the new Super Mario Brothers for Wii, I know, okay, I can get the new Super Mario Brothers for Wii. I can flip that for like $25, $20 real quick. And there's nothing wrong with that, I feel like. Especially if I leave everything else on the shelf, I feel like that's not scalping. If I come in and I take something that I know is of value, and I take what I also want that I'm going to play, to me, that's not really as bad as these resellers in my area. What they do is they take everything. Like you'll see the guy with the big pile, and he'll just have it all in his cart. There are very rare instances games come out, and then he'll be going through them, right? Scanning them. And he's not scanning them to put anything back on the shelf. He's scanning them to make sure he has a big hit. Like to make sure he knows how much money he's going to make before he leaves the store. Or even worse, if they come in and they got these stupid GoPros strapped to their chest, man, I want to rip those things off, man. Like, why are you putting the whole store on camera? We didn't ask to be on your YouTube channel. But to the point. But I may leave like Crash Bandicoot on the shelf, or I may leave Tomb Raider 1 on the shelf. I'm going to leave games that I know have some value, but I don't necessarily need, and they're not super quick flips. Like no pun intended. We're going to get to that. The other day, I found Batman, the original Batman, Batman Arkham City. I already have a copy of this game, but I think I have the Platinum Hits copy. Now, normally, in a normal universe, I would just leave the other copy on the shelf. It's a classic. But no, I had to buy it. Why? Because I knew one of these filthy resellers were going to get it. I don't even have it listed. I just have it in my collection. I have 2 copies now. I have a regular copy and a Platinum copy. I'll probably take one of the copies to the local game store because it's only worth it's not even worth running to eBay to get $7 and then I got to ship it out and all that crap. It's like at this point now, and this is something that Steve helped me kind of come to the carpet and realize that as a seller, we are taking product I don't want to say product because I sound like one of them guys, but we are taking good games out of our local communities where like the children and the young families, they're not going to be able to buy these games at a decent price if we keep taking them out of the circulation. And I do think it makes a little bit more sense to either you sell them yourself at the flea market or yard sale, and you can sell them at competitive prices to eBay, but don't leave no meat on the bone. So if it's like a $10 game, sell it for $7. You know, if a reseller's crazy enough to buy it for $7, then I guess let them have it. Don't let people do bundle deals, none of that crap. Just sell it like right below the eBay price, or just take the shipping off. So if a $15 game, sell it at your yard sale for like 12. You know, 12 or maybe even 10 if you're really being generous. But don't sell it for $2. You know, it's too much meat on the bone. You're leaving it's just too much residue for the resellers to come in there and not, you know, get the last little crumbs. Or sell it to a local game store because you're leaving it in your community. But some of these local game stores, they do jack up the prices. Like, they do jack up the prices. But then again, the person who buys it, they know it's not a reseller. And that's probably why they do that. It's like, okay, we're going to sell Mario Sunshine for like $75. Now really, it's really it's like a $65 game, maybe a $50 game. But why would they list it at $75? I guess it's to push the resellers out their stores. And I do agree with that. And I do think that's actually very smart because a family, like I was in there once, like a couple of weeks ago, and a guy came in, he bought an original, it was a guy and his daughter, he bought an original Nintendo 64, he brought 2 controllers, and the original Mario Kart game for $200. Now you may be saying that brother got ripped off, but it's like, did he? I mean, the controllers are like, what, $30 now? N64 is like $100 right now, so like $130. 2 controllers, so that's like $170. And then Mario Kart's like another $30 to $40 game. Like, he pretty much paid what it was worth. But in our reseller brain, we're like, man, that brother got ripped off. He should have tried to pay like $65 for it. Funny thing, I say 65 because the last Nintendo 64 I had, I just sold it locally for $65. I didn't try to get every last dollar. You know, that's the problem with a lot of these resellers. And I think that when it comes specifically to games, I think that trying to keep these games in a local community and trying to keep them out of the hands of resellers who are just going to quick flip them is a major point of contention that some of us other sellers need to start keeping in mind, that we are taking games out of the circulation. And that's not cool. That's not cool. Now, if you know anything about selling, you know, this also happened with shoes, and a lot of the sellers got caught. They just got caught sitting on inventory. I'm sitting on massive piles of retro Jordans. I'm not even gonna lie. I got caught up in the Jordan thing. So when you're taking products out of the local community and you're trying to get top dollar for them on eBay, there's always that risk. So don't think because some guy can strap a GoPro to his chest and be like, oh, I paid $1, I'm going to sell it for $300. That doesn't happen every day. Reselling is a grind. But what I'm more so getting into, how my business is changing, I'm going to start selling more things that people need. That's what I will sell online. More stuff that people need, that I'm not trying to rip them off, but stuff that I know is going to sell super fast, because like consumables or things like that people have to buy. I don't want to get too deep into it. You know how these resellers are. They'll steal your product and go ship 1,000 of them from China, and then next thing you know, they'll be selling for 99 cents. That's another thing about resellers I'll say before I get out of here. I did have a yard sale once, right? And I wasn't even done putting everything out. These people went through all my trash boxes. I mean, think about it. I had a box that's like full of like the trash. I was taking things out of the package, you know, making them look nice. They went all through the trash. I just sat there and just looked at them like, okay, if you want to buy some trash, put all the broken toys in the trash box. They was going through these resellers. They got their little phones out. They go through every little thing. You're just like, what? Like, where do you people come from? Like, what's wrong with you people? And then when they do find something, they look at you with this scrunched up look on their face. What's your lowest? Would you take 5? No. I don't curse on this channel, but I was like, no, you make me a better offer. And then they just walk off. When you tell them no, they just give you this stunned look like, you're not gonna build my business for me? I can't get it for $1 and sell it for 50? I can't do that. And they just walk off. They don't want to meet you in the middle. They don't want to take a little chicken off the bone. They want the whole piece. They want the whole 3-piece. biscuit and a drink. They want you to deliver it for free. For free. Shout out to y'all if y'all caught that reference. That's the old school YouTube right there.